Kang Taeho stared at his small apartment walls and sighed. After 45 years of fixing spaceships, retirement felt like being stuck in a box. His hands, rough and marked with old scars, needed work. They had fixed military cruisers, cargo ships, and fancy space yachts. Now they just held coffee cups and remote controls. This is not living, Taeho said to himself. He was 65 but felt strong. His body was lean and tough from decades of climbing through engine rooms and crawling under control panels. The morning sun came through his window in New Seoul. Outside, flying cars zipped between tall buildings. Taeho turned on his computer tablet and did what he did every morning. He looked at space station listings, not to buy, just to look. It was like how some old people looked at vacation spots they would never visit. But today was different. As he scrolled through the listings, something caught his eye. The ad was small and had a bad picture. Abandoned Orbital Station. VALKRI design. Obsolete. Salvage value only. Taeho knew about the Valkyrie. Everyone did. They were an ancient alien race that disappeared thousands of years ago. Their technology was legendary, but most of it didn't work anymore or had been stripped for parts. He checked the price and blinked. Was that right? The cost was less than a small shuttlecraft. For an entire space station, it had to be a mistake or a scam. But the listing came from Galactic Property Auction, a trusted site. Taeho clicked for more information. The station was called Nexus 7 and orbited a star at the edge of settled space. It had been on the market for 8 years with no buyers. The description said, interior systems non-functional, structure intact, sold as is, all salvage rights included. Taeho felt his heart beat faster. He had saved good money during his working years. His pension from Universal Shipyards was solid. His wife had passed 10 years ago. And his daughter, Sunme, had her own life as an engineer on Earth. I could buy this, he whispered. The thought was crazy. What would he do with a dead alien space station? But his hands seemed to answer for him. They could fix things. They always had. Before he could change his mind, Taeho hit the Purchase Now button. The screen asked for confirmation and payment details. His fingers hesitated for just a moment, then entered his bank information. Payment accepted, the screen said. Congratulations on your purchase of Nexus 7 Orbital Station. Transfer of ownership documents will arrive within 24 hours. Taeho sat back, stunned at what he had done. He had just spent most of his savings on space junk, but instead of regret, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Excitement. The door chime rang. His daughter Sunme walked in, carrying a small cake. Happy retirement anniversary, Dad, she said with a smile. 1 year today. Taeho looked up at his daughter. She had her mother's eyes and his stubborn chin. Sunme, he said slowly, I just bought something. Oh, a new cooking robot. You said you wanted one. No, I bought a space station. Sunme's smile froze. You what? An old Valkyrie station. For salvage. Dad. Sunme put down the cake and grabbed his tablet. She looked at the confirmation screen and her eyes widened. This is real. You actually bought this. What were you thinking? I was thinking that I'm not dead yet, Taeho said. I was thinking my hands still work. I was thinking I want to fix something big again before I can't anymore. Sunme sat down across from him. Dad, this is crazy. What will you do with it? Where even is this place? Taeho smiled. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. I always do. Sunme shook her head, but Taeho saw the corner of her mouth twitch. She was her father's daughter after all. So, she said finally, when do we leave? We? Taeho raised his eyebrows. You think I'd let my father fly to some abandoned alien junk heap alone? Sunme crossed her arms. Someone needs to make sure you don't get yourself killed. For the first time in a year, Taeho laughed a real laugh. He was going to space again. His hands were going to fix things again. He felt alive. 2 weeks after buying the space station, Taiho sat in the small transport ship he had rented. Sun Mai piloted while he checked his tools for the 5th time. They had packed food, water, air tanks, and basic repair equipment, enough to last 30 days. "Are you sure about this?" Sun Mai asked, not for the first time. "We can still turn back." Taiho shook his head. "I'm sure." He looked out the window at the empty space around them. They had been traveling for 3 days, far from the busy shipping lanes. "We're almost at the coordinates," Sun Mai said. "We should see it soon." Taiho pressed his face to the window. At first, he saw nothing but stars. Then something blocked the stars. A huge dark shape. As they got closer, the ship's lights showed a massive ring structure floating in space. "That's it," Sun Mai whispered. "That's Nexus 7. The station was bigger than Taiho had expected. Much bigger. The ring was at least 3 kilometers across. Parts of it gleamed where starlight hit strange metal. Other parts were completely dark. "It's beautiful," Taiho said. The station didn't look like human designs with their sharp angles and clear sections. This was all curves and flowing lines, like it had been grown rather than built. Sun Mai checked the screens. "I'm not picking up any power or life signs. The airlock near the north side looks intact. I'll take us in." She flew the small ship toward the station. As they got closer, they saw small bits of debris floating around it. The outer hull had some damage, but the main structure seemed solid. Sun Mai docked their ship carefully. The airlock was an odd shape, but their ship's computer found a way to make a safe seal. "Suits on," Taiho said. They put on their spacesuits and checked each other's seals. "Remember, we just looked today. No taking things apart yet." Sun Mai smiled behind her helmet. "You're telling me not to take things apart. That's new." They entered the airlock. Taiho's hand shook slightly as he pressed the button to cycle it. With a hiss, the outer door closed, and after a moment, the inner door slid open. Darkness greeted them. Taiho turned on his suit lights and stepped forward. His boots hit the floor with a dull thud. There was no echo. "The air pressure is near 0, Sun Mai said, checking her wrist computer. "But the temperature is higher than it should be. Something might still be working." They walked slowly down a curved hallway. The walls were covered in patterns that looked like writing or maybe circuit designs. The floor was made of a material that felt slightly soft under their boots. "This place is huge," Sun Mai said. "We could spend months exploring it all." They came to a large round room with a raised platform in the center. Taiho walked toward it, his lights showing strange panels and controls. "This might be some kind of control center," he said. He studied the panels but saw no obvious way to activate them. No buttons or switches, just smooth surfaces with those same strange patterns. "We should head back soon," Sun Mai said. "We need to set up our living area in the ship." "Just a minute," Taiho said. He reached out and touched one of the panels. Nothing happened. He sighed and turned to leave. But as his hand lifted from the panel, a dim blue light appeared where his fingers had been. The light spread, following the patterns on the panel. Then other panels began to glow too. "Dad, what did you do?" Sun Mai asked, stepping back. "Nothing," Taiho said. "I just touched it." The blue light spread across the ceiling and down the walls. A low hum filled the air. In the center of the platform, a column of light appeared. It shaped itself into a figure about 2 meters tall. Not human. It had 4 arms and a head with no clear face, just patches of light where eyes might be. The figure turned toward Taiho. It made sounds, clicks and whistles and deep tones. "Is it talking?" Sun Mai whispered. The figure stopped, tilted its head, then tried again. This time, broken words came out. "Well, come. Visi. Tor. I am. El. Den. Main. Tenants. Sis. Tem." Taiho's heart pounded in his chest. Hello, Eldon. I am Tahoe. This is Sunmay. The light figure studied them. Then it said one word clearly. Human. Yes, Tahoe said. We are humans. Eldon was still for a long moment. Then it spoke a word that made no sense to them. In. Her. Itor. Du Hyun and his men left the station in a hurry. Their ship moved away quickly, like a dog with its tail between its legs. Tahoe stayed in the control chair for hours afterward, exploring his new connection with the station. In his mind, he could see every room, every system. He could feel the energy flowing through the walls. It was like the station had become part of his body. Dad? Sunmay's voice pulled him back to the room. Are you okay? Tahoe blinked and focused on his daughter's worried face. Yes, better than okay. He slowly stood up from the chair. The blue glow around him faded, but he could still feel the connection. What did you see? Min-Soo asked eagerly. Everything, Tahoe said. The whole station. And more. I saw its purpose. Eldon appeared beside them. Then you understand now. Tahoe nodded. This isn't just a space station. It's a seed. A seed. Sunmay asked. A technology seed. Min-Soo said, his eyes wide with understanding. Planted by the Valkyrie for the next worthy species to find. Yes, Tahoe said. The Valkyrie left thousands of these stations throughout the galaxy. Each one contains their knowledge, their technology. But they are locked, waiting for the right key. And you're that key, Sunmay said. Not just me, humans. Tahoe walked to a wall and placed his hand on it. A hidden door slid open, revealing a room they had never seen before. Inside were rows of strange devices on pedestals. What is this place? Min-Soo whispered. A library, Tahoe said, but not of books. Of knowledge. Pure knowledge. Eldon's light form moved among the devices. The Valkyrie believed knowledge should be earned, not given. Each species must reach a certain point on their own. Then they can receive the next step. Min-Soo picked up one of the small devices. It looked like a crystal with metal bands around it. And humans have reached that point. Some humans, Eldon said. Those with the right abilities. Tahoe touched one of the crystal devices. It lit up in his hand, projecting images in the air. Strange symbols and diagrams floated around them. I can read this, Tahoe said, surprised. Not with my eyes, but in my mind. What does it say? Sunmay asked. It's plans. For engines, faster than anything we have. Tahoe moved his hand, and the images changed. And this is medical technology. Ways to heal almost any injury. Min-Soo was typing frantically on his tablet. This is beyond anything in human science. It could advance us by centuries. Eldon moved closer to Tahoe. The Valkyrie searched for worthy successors for 1,000 years. Many species were tested. Only humans showed the right combination of traits. What traits? Sunmay asked. Technical creativity, adaptability, and most important, intuitive understanding of how things work. Eldon's light form seemed to smile at Tahoe, like a good mechanic who can fix things without a manual. Tahoe laughed. So my job was the perfect training. Yes, humans think with their hands as much as their minds. The Valkyrie were the same. A beeping sound interrupted them. Sunmay checked her tablet. Dad, there's a ship approaching. But it's not stellar dynamics. It's from Earth. On the screen, they saw a small passenger ship. When Tahoe opened a comm channel, he heard a familiar voice. Dad, are you there? It's me. Sunmay. Tahoe looked confused. But you're here. That's not me, Dad, Sunmay said beside him. That's my sister. Tahoe's eyes widened. Hana, but she's supposed to be on the Mars colony. I came as soon as I heard you were in trouble. Hana's voice said. Some corporate goon tried to file claims against you. I pulled some legal strings and got them thrown out. Sun Mei grinned. That's my twin sister, always fixing problems with words instead of tools. When Hannah's ship docked and she stepped onto the station, she froze in amazement. What is this place? The outside looks old, but in here. It's a long story, Taiho said, hugging his other daughter. But the short version is, we've found humanity's future. 3 days passed quietly. Taiho spent them learning to control his new connection with the station. He could now turn systems on and off with just a thought. Doors opened before he reached them. Lights adjusted to his mood. You're getting good at this, Sun Mai said as she watched her father fix a water recycling unit without touching it. He just looked at it, and broken parts moved back into place. It feels natural, Taiho said, like the station is an extension of my hands. Min Su was recording everything. This is beyond anything we knew about the Valkyrie. They didn't just have advanced technology. They merged with it. Eldon appeared beside them. Warning. Large vessel approaching. They rushed to the control room. On the main screen, they saw a massive ship. It was 5 times bigger than the previous ones. The Stellar Dynamics logo covered its side. Scan shows 47 humans aboard, Eldon said. 8 are armed. A deep male voice came over the comm. This is Park Do-hyun, CEO of Stellar Dynamics. I'm here to resolve our situation personally. Taiho felt the station tense around him, like it was preparing for a fight. What do you want, Do-hyun? Just to talk, face to face, you and me. Taiho thought for a moment. You can dock, but only you and 2 others can board. No weapons. Agreed. Sun Mei grabbed her father's arm. Dad, this is dangerous. He didn't come all this way just to talk. I know, Taiho said, but I want to hear what he has to say. Do-hyun arrived with 2 large men in security uniforms. He was tall and well-dressed, with cold eyes and a fake smile. Impressive place you have here, Mr. Kang, he said, looking around. Much more impressive than when my company surveyed it 5 years ago. You knew about this station before I bought it? Taiho asked. Of course. We've been monitoring all Valkyrie sites for decades. This one showed no activity, so we left it on the market as salvage. Do-hyun's smile disappeared. Then you bought it, and somehow activated it. The station chose him, Min Su said. Do-hyun laughed. Chose him. A retired mechanic. He turned back to Taiho. Whatever you did, we want to know how. And we want this station. It's not for sale, Taiho said. I'm not here to buy it. Do-hyun took out a tablet and showed a legal document. This is an order from the Galactic Council. It states that all undocumented alien technology must be turned over to authorized research facilities. This station is documented, Sun Mai said. My father has the ownership papers. For salvage rights only. Do-hyun smiled again. Not for active alien technology. The law is clear. You have 1 hour to gather your personal items and leave. As they argued, Taiho felt something strange happening. The station's power was surging. New doors were appearing in the walls around them. Panels that had been dark for weeks were lighting up. What's happening? One of Do-hyun's men asked, looking nervous. Suddenly, the floor beneath them shook. A bright light filled the room. When it faded, they saw that the center of the floor had opened. A platform rose from below, carrying something that looked like a control chair, but more complex. The core interface, Eldon said, appearing suddenly. It reveals itself only in times of great need. What is this? Do-hyun demanded. What are you doing, Kang? But Taiho wasn't doing anything. The station was acting on its own. He felt it pulling him toward the chair. Dad? Sun Mai said, worried. It's okay, Taiho said. He walked to the chair and sat down. The moment he did, the chair molded itself to his body. Lights raced across its surface and up his arms. In his mind, Taiho suddenly saw the entire station. Every room, every system, every person. He could feel Du Hyun's fear and greed. He could feel Sun Mi's worry and love. He could even feel the armed soldiers on Du Hyun's ship, ready to attack. Taiho is the catalyst, Eldon announced. The station recognizes him fully now. Du Hyun backed away. This changes nothing. The law, Taiho said, his voice somehow louder and deeper than before, does not apply here. This station is not just technology. It is alive, and it has chosen its path. With a thought, Taiho activated the station's defense systems, not to attack, but to protect. A shield of blue energy surrounded Du Hyun and his men. You have two choices, Taiho said calmly. Leave peacefully or be removed. Du Hyun looked at Taiho sitting in the alien chair, glowing with power, and for the first time, fear showed in his eyes. 6 months passed. The once abandoned station had become a busy place. Ships came and went daily. People from Earth and other human colonies arrived to learn and work. Taiho stood by a large window, watching a group of young engineers study a Valkyrie engine design. His hands were dirty with oil. Even with all the advanced technology around him, he still preferred to fix things with his own hands. Still getting your hands dirty, Dad? Hannah asked as she joined him. She wore a neat business suit and carried a tablet. Unlike her twin sister Sun Mi, who loved machines, Hannah worked with laws and words. Some habits don't change, Taiho said with a smile. After the confrontation with Du Hyun, news of the station had spread across the galaxy. The Earth government had sent officials to investigate. At first, they wanted to take control of the station, claiming it was too important for one person to own. But when they tried to enter certain rooms, the doors wouldn't open. When they tried to remove devices from the library, the objects became too heavy to lift. The station only responded fully to Taiho and, to a lesser extent, Sun Mi. In the end, they had no choice but to work with Taiho. Hannah had helped create a new legal agreement. Taiho would remain the primary interface of the station. A council of scientists and leaders would help decide how to share the knowledge with humanity. The Galactic Council representatives will arrive tomorrow, Hannah said. They want to see the station for themselves. Taiho nodded. News had spread to other species now. Some were curious. Some were afraid. Some were angry that humans had been chosen by the Valkyrie. Will there be trouble? He asked. Maybe, Hannah said. But they can't do much. The station won't respond to them anyway. Sun Mi entered the room, carrying a strange tool. Dad, I need your help with the water system in Section 5. Taiho grinned. See, some things never change. Even with all this advanced technology, they still need an old mechanic. As they walked through the station, Taiho marveled at how much had changed. The once dark corridors now glowed with soft light. Rooms that had been empty were filled with people working and studying. Min-Soo had established a research center to translate the Valkyrie knowledge. In one large room, Sun Mi had created a school for young engineers. They learned to repair and understand both human and Valkyrie technology. Taiho often taught classes, showing students how to feel the way machines worked. There are 10 more stations like this one, Min-Soo told Taiho later that day. They sat in what had become their meeting room. The information in the library contains their locations, all abandoned, waiting for the right people to find them. Like this one was waiting for Dad, Sun Mi said. Eldon appeared, its light form now more detailed and clear. The network awakens, after 50,000 years of sleep. Network? Hannah asked. The stations are connected. They will be, Eldon said, when all are awakened. That night, Taiho sat alone in the control room. Through his connection with the station, he felt its happiness. It had a purpose again. It was no longer abandoned. Outside the window, he saw a small ship arrive. It was the first group of students from Mars, coming to learn at Sun Mi school. Young people who would take the Valkyrie knowledge and use it to build a better future. Did you know it would be like this? Taiho asked Eldon, who appeared beside him. Not exactly, Eldon said. The Valkyrie could predict patterns, but not specific events. They knew someday a species would come who could understand their work. They hoped it would be used wisely. And will it be? Taiho asked. Eldon's light form shifted in what looked like a shrug. That is up to humans now. Taiho smiled and stood up. His old knees creaked, but he felt younger than he had in years. There was so much work to do, so many things to fix and understand. I still can't believe all this happened because I was bored in retirement, he said. Not because you were bored, Eldon corrected. Because you were ready. Taiho looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there were other stations, waiting for humans to find them. His retirement had turned into the greatest adventure of his life, and it was just beginning. Inheritor. What does that mean? Sunmay asked, but Eldon didn't answer. The light figure flickered and then disappeared. Wait, Taiho called, but the room went dark again. Only a few panels still glowed with a faint blue light. Over the next week, Taiho and Sunmay worked to make a small section of the station livable. They set up their equipment in a room near the docking area. They brought air tanks from their ship to fill this room with breathable air. This meant they could take off their suits while working. The station was cold, but Taiho found what looked like a heating system. When he touched the controls, they lit up just like in the control room. Soon, warm air flowed through the vents. It's strange, Taiho said, as he fixed the lights in their new living area. These systems haven't been used for thousands of years, but they start working with just a touch. Maybe they recognize you as the owner, Sunmi joked, or as the inheritor, whatever that means, Taiho said. On the 8th day, while Taiho was fixing a broken door, Eldon appeared again. This time, the light figure spoke more clearly. System, adapting to, human, language patterns. Taiho put down his tools. You're learning our language. Yes. Your neural patterns, similar to Valkyrie, easier than other species. Sunmi joined them, eyes wide. You've met other species. Recently? No. Long time. Many try to use station. None compatible. Taiho frowned. Compatible? What do you mean? Eldon's light form shifted. Valkyrie, not extinct. Evolved. No need. Physical form. Station. Left for. Next species. Taiho and Sunmay looked at each other in shock. Everyone believed the Valkyrie had died out or been destroyed in some ancient war. But Eldon was saying they had evolved into something else, something that didn't need space stations anymore. And you think humans are this next species? Sunmay asked. You fix systems without instructions. You understand intuitively, like Valkyrie. Taiho thought about this. It was true that he seemed to know how to fix the alien systems without really understanding them. His hands just knew what to do, like they could feel the right way. Show me more of the station, Taiho said. Eldon led them deeper into the station. They passed rooms filled with strange machines. Some looked like they might be labs or workshops. Others were completely mysterious. In one large room, Eldon stopped. This power core, not dead, sleeping. The center of the room held a column of dark metal. No lights, no sound, no sign of power. Sleeping, Sunmay asked. Can it be woken up? Yes. By inheritor. Taiho stepped forward. Me. How? Touch, think, connect. Taiho placed his hand on the dark column. Nothing happened at first. Then he closed his eyes and imagined energy flowing, systems starting, lights coming on. He didn't know why he thought this would work. It just felt right. Under his hand, the column began to warm. A soft hum filled the room. Lines of light spread from where his hand touched, running up the column and out across the floor. What's happening? Sunmay asked, stepping back. Station. Recognizing. Inheritor. Eldon said. Beginning. Revival process. The lights grew brighter. The hum became stronger. Taeho felt something strange, like the station was scanning him, reading him. Dad? Sunmai sounded worried. Taeho opened his eyes. The whole room was now lit with a soft golden light. The dark column had transformed into a glowing pillar of energy. I'm fine, he said. Better than fine. He felt connected to the station somehow, aware of its systems in a way he couldn't explain. Power at 20%, Eldon announced. Higher than in 2,000 years. Taeho looked at his hand, then at the glowing column. This station isn't obsolete at all, is it? No, Eldon said, its voice now much clearer. It is waiting. For you. News travels fast, even in the emptiness of space. 2 weeks after Taeho woke up the power core, a message reached him from Earth. Dad, you need to see this, Sunmai said, showing him her tablet. On the screen was a news story. Abandoned alien station shows signs of activity. Experts puzzled. Taeho frowned. How did they find out? The station's power signature. It's visible now to long-range scanners. Sunmai scrolled down. And look who's quoted in the article. A picture showed a man in an expensive suit. The caption read, Park Do-hyun, CEO of Stellar Dynamics Corporation. The technology in this station could be worth billions, Do-hyun said in the article. We're very interested in what's happening out there. This isn't good, Taeho said. He had worked for big companies like Stellar Dynamics. They took what they wanted and didn't care who got hurt. That same day, another ship arrived at the station. It was small and had university markings. A single person requested permission to dock. My name is Han Min-soo, the man said over the comm. I'm a researcher of ancient civilizations. I studied the Valkyrie for 20 years. Please, I just want to see the station. Taeho let him dock. Min-soo was a thin man with glasses and excited eyes. He looked around in wonder as Taeho showed him the main areas they had explored. This is amazing, Min-soo said. Most Valkyrie sites were stripped long ago. To see one intact, he touched a wall panel gently. The patterns here, they're not just decoration. They're a language. Can you read it? Sunmai asked. Some. Very little. Min-soo pointed to a section. This part talks about the waiting and the return. The Valkyrie believed in cycles, in things coming back around. As they walked, Eldon appeared. Min-soo jumped back in surprise. A functioning eye. Incredible. Greetings, scholar, Eldon said. Its speech was much better now. You study the makers. The makers? Is that what the Valkyrie call themselves? Min-soo asked. Before Eldon could answer, an alarm sounded. Sunmai checked her tablet. Another ship is approaching. A big one. On the screen, they saw a sleek corporate vessel. It was at least 10 times larger than their transport ship. The Stellar Dynamics logo was clear on its side. They didn't waste any time, Taeho muttered. A woman's voice came over the comm. This is Lee Jae-yun of Stellar Dynamics. We request permission to dock for a business discussion. Tell them no, Sunmai said. But Taeho shook his head. They'll just come back with more ships. He pressed the comm button. Permission granted, but only you can come aboard. No teams. Jae-yun agreed. When she stepped onto the station, Taeho saw a beautiful woman in a perfect business suit. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Mr. Kang, she said, I'll be direct. My company is prepared to offer you 50 million credits for this station. That's 50 times what you paid. Taeho crossed his arms. Not interested. Jae-yun's smile tightened. The station was sold as salvage. You don't have exploration or research rights, only ownership of the physical structure. Then the physical structure is not for sale, Taeho said. Jae-yun looked around at the glowing panels and humming systems. Mr. Kang, whatever you found here is beyond one person. Stellar Dynamics has the resources to properly study and develop this technology. You mean take it apart and sell it? Sun Mai said. Jai Yun ignored her. Mr. Kang, be reasonable. You're just a retired mechanic. This station needs experts. Something changed in the air. The lights dimmed slightly. Tai Ho felt a strange sensation, like the station was angry. I think, Tai Ho said slowly, the station has already found the expert it wants. As if on cue, a panel near Jai Yun slid shut suddenly, making her jump. This is your final chance, Mr. Kang, Jai Yun said. Next time, we won't be asking so nicely. After she left, Min Su looked worried. Stellar Dynamics doesn't give up easily, and they have friends in the government. Let them come, Tai Ho said. This is my station now. What he didn't say was what he had felt when Jai Yun threatened him. The station had responded to his emotions. Somehow, it was becoming part of him, or he was becoming part of it. After Jai Yun left, Tai Ho worked harder than ever. Each day, he fixed more systems. Each night, he fell asleep tired but happy. The station felt more alive with every repair. Look at this, Sun Mai said one morning. She pointed to a wall panel that had been cracked the day before. It's fixed. Tai Ho touched the smooth surface. I didn't fix this. The station is repairing itself, Min Su said. He had stayed to help them and to study the station, but only after you repair other systems first. It's like you're showing it what to do. They were in a new section of the station. The rooms here changed in strange ways. When Tai Ho said he was tired, a flat surface rose from the floor, shaped like a bed. When Sun Mai mentioned she was hungry, a door opened to a room they hadn't seen before. Inside was something like a kitchen. Eldon, Tai Ho called. What's happening to the station? The light figure appeared. The station awakens fully. It responds to your needs. But how? Why me? You are compatible. Your mind links with station systems. Min Su leaned forward. A biotechnical interface. The Valkyrie had this technology. Yes, all Valkyrie systems designed for mental connection. Stations like this left for worthy successors. Successors? Sun Mai asked. You mean species that would come after the Valkyrie? Yes, species with both technical skill and ethical development. Tai Ho laughed. And you think humans qualify? We still fight wars. We still have poverty. Not perfect, but potential. Eldon's light form seemed to smile. Like you, Tai Ho. Not perfect, but good hands, good heart. Before they could ask more questions, alarms sounded again. Sun Mai checked the monitors. 3 ships, all stellar dynamics. On the screen, they saw the ships surrounding the station. Jai Yun's voice came over the comm. Mr. Kang, I'm here with a legal team. Our lawyers have found that your purchase was invalid. This station is in disputed space. We filed a claim with the Galactic Property Office. That's a lie, Sun Mai said. They're just trying to scare us. It doesn't matter if it's true, Min Su said. They have money for good lawyers. They can tie this up in courts for years. Tai Ho felt anger rise in his chest. As his emotions grew stronger, the lights in the station pulsed. The floor under his feet warmed. They're preparing to dock, Sun Mai said. All 3 ships. Can we stop them? Tai Ho asked. I don't think. Sun Mai started, but then stopped. The screens showed the docking ports closing. None of them had touched the controls. The station is responding to you, Min Su whispered. To your emotions. Jai Yun's angry voice came over the comm again. What are you doing, Kang? Open the docking ports now. Tai Ho felt the connection growing stronger. He could sense the station's systems like they were extensions of his body. He knew where every ship was without looking at the screens. Tell them to leave, he said calmly. When Jai Yun refused, Tai Ho closed his eyes. He didn't speak or press any buttons. He just thought about what he wanted. A bright blue light shot out from the station, surrounding the 3 ships in a glowing net. It didn't damage them, but it held them in place. "What is this?" Jai Yun's voice now had fear in it. "Release our ships immediately." "Leave," Taiho said, "and don't come back without an invitation." The blue light pushed the ships away from the station, gently but firmly. When they were at a safe distance, it released them. "You'll regret this, Kang," Jai Yun shouted before the comm went silent. The ships turned and moved away. Sunma stared at her father. "How did you do that?" Taiho looked at his hands. They were glowing faintly with the same blue light. "The station recognizes you fully now," Eldon said. "You are the catalyst." "Catalyst?" Min Su asked. "One who bridges between what is and what can be." Eldon's form grew brighter. The Valkyrie predictions were correct. Humans are the ones. Taiho felt the station's energy flowing through him. For the first time, he understood what it meant to be an inheritor, not just an owner of an old station, but a key to something greater. "What happens now?" he asked. "Now," Eldon said, "we truly begin."